All right, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Look, Mum, I'm Hustling. I'm still tired. We went to Blink 182 the other night. Gigantic concert. You got your band shirt on today.
I do. Yeah, it was so good. I mean, I do feel old that I really enjoyed sitting down rather than standing up.
I think it was the first sit-down concert I've been to.
Yeah, usually you're a lean against the wall type of dude, and I'm trying to always on my tippy toes, trying to see through the crowd and be like, is that the guitarist?
Yes, it was the best of all worlds. Because
I know.
You overcame the height problem.
Yeah.
I didn't have to lean at the back, and I got to sit. But yeah, pretty much everyone sitting down because we got very early tickets. I think we did a podcast episode about when they first announced the tour and everything. We got really good tickets.
Yeah.
Basically, as close as you could get from side stage. We're probably 5 rows back from where the chairs actually started.
Yeah.
Probably 30 meters from the stage.
Yeah, if you head to my personal Instagram, you'll be able to see some photos and stuff from the show, which is pretty hectic.
But yeah, I was kind of hesitant to get the sitting down seats. Obviously, seats require you sitting down, so
As they do.
But then it was kind of nice and relaxing, but it did feel like you're just kind of sitting at home a lot of the time as well.
It didn't really for me. I think towards the end of it, people started to stand up, but we could still see.
Yeah, halfway through the set, once they played "I Miss You," which is the biggest track they have. Yeah. That's when everyone stood up, and then from that point on to the end of the show, everyone was standing up.
Kind of standing
I didn't stand up.
Oh, we didn't need to.
I probably should have, but
the dude behind us was still sitting, and usually only stand up if the person behind you is standing
this
up.
is
kind
an
of
interesting thing.
That's the seating etiquette, right?
It's the group mentality of following the trend that one person has set. Kiddo posted a video. I'll play it. It's actually super interesting about group dynamics and things. You might have seen it before. It's a viral video about this guy at a music festival, and he's just dancing by himself. Guy dancing festival.
It's the whole psychology thing. If you're in a circle group of people and you cross your arms, everyone's going to start crossing their arms.
Watch. This is actually super interesting psychological kind of experiment.
Right.
This is actually turn that off. Sasquatch Music Festival 2019. Guy starts dance party.
Solo dude by himself.
Yeah, I watched it. I'm like, oh, this is super interesting kind of psychological experiment or study.
Right.
I'll turn the music down.
Yeah.
So it's just this. They're at a music festival. Dude's probably may or may not be on some illicit substances. And he's just vibing out hardcore to the music on his own.
Living his best life right now.
And then someone's just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to go up and start dancing as well. This is a 3-minute video.
Yeah.
We're 24 seconds in, and then the second guy's
already joined in. Yeah.
Imitating his dance move.
They're probably yeah, fuck yeah, I want to be dancing.
Keep watching. Because if you just you zoom out, everyone's just sitting there and watching, thinking,
what are these two dudes doing?
These guys are loving it. This is so funny. We're just sort of chilling here. That's what I'd be doing, sitting there chilling on the grass, watching.
Yeah, just enjoying it.
So we're a third of the way into the video, and there's only 3 people right now.
Yeah.
Watch how fast things ramp up.
So now there's 3 people.
Yeah, 3 people.
Yeah.
We're almost halfway through the video. Watch this. It's actually really, really interesting. Still 3 people just dancing. If you're just listening, you can watch on the video version. Now there's 5, 6 people.
Heaps more people have just rocked up. So a group of friends. Oh, so many more. Right, there's 15, 20 people already.
And now we're at halfway through the video, up to 3 minutes. Let's just skip for 2.5 minutes. Then there's 100 people there.
Imagine you're just chilling on the carpet and all these people kind of rock
Literally,
up. Well, I'm going to have to move.
150 people there right now after 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It's mental, yeah. It was just I want to be, it looks like they're having fun.
I want to be part of that that looks better than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the mentality was. I'm like, oh, do I stand up? I'm so comfortable and enjoying this sitting down.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that video at the time being people just want to be a part of something.
Yeah. Well, it just depends whether you have that rebellious streak or something in you. Because when you're at concerts, they're everybody clap or shine your flashlights and stuff.
I'm not into the flashlight
that person
or the clapping.
whatsoever. No. Usually I don't do the clapping and stuff. I'll do the flashlight or something. But yeah, usually the clapping, I'm not doing that. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know. Maybe I'm just rebel.
It's the punk rocker in you, I think.
It's not that. It doesn't make me enjoy the experience anymore.
Yeah.
So if other people feel like they're enjoying it because they do that, then that's awesome. But I don't feel like I'm like adding much, or it's not adding much to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a party pooper.
Well, it's about
perhaps.
it's about your experience and stuff, right? But the overall, like, I haven't been to a big show like that in a very, very long time, and they. Like, I was pretty impressed, to be honest. They had pyro, a lot of like confetti and stuff shooting out. They had fireworks at one point.
Fireworks and just
lasers, and
it was pretty insane. You can see the set list of the songs they do, and they have like what special effects, what stage effects are going to happen on each of them. But yeah, like the Flames have done for many years, because they used to have a gigantic fuck sign that had flames on it and stuff.
Yes, I've seen those.
But like there was explosions and firecrackers. They were so loud and some of it was like unnecessary. And then crazy light show, crazy lasers, and then a gigantic confetti machine at one point.
Yeah. I think we just heard it more because we were so close to it as well.
Yeah. It was a huge not a huge production, but like for like a punk show, for some silly like 3-chord punk songs.
Just like 3 dudes. But they were like, they've been around for ages, right? But they all look like they were still loving every single moment of it, like living their best life. You didn't, because, you know, you've seen artists like, and you kind of can tell that they're like tired or sort of over it or kind of like just don't want to be there. But like they would just had huge smiles on their faces the whole time.
Well, they'll have different reasons for enjoying it. Travis just wanted to like do his thing because he has played and on so many different rap albums and hip hop songs and stuff like that. But he hasn't toured at that gigantic level for so long. Plus he had the fear of flying, so he hasn't toured internationally in forever. I don't think he's been to Australia for 19 years. And obviously his stardom and everything has risen so much since then, being part of like reality world of Kardashians and things like that. But also he's a massive entrepreneur. So just being outside of America might have been like just, you know, really enjoyable for him. You had Mark that came out of a cancer scare, and then Tom, who's kind of been chasing aliens and now is back into the group, and he hasn't played to venues that big in probably a decade or two as well. Yeah. So they all have their own individual reasons. But actually, Travis Barker was on Tetragrammatron with Rick Rubin this week as well.
Oh, okay. I'm going to give that a listen. Bit. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why they had their run last year in the US. But the big thing for them 10 years ago when they did a tour was Travis not being able to fly. Yeah,
true.
He like literally had to pull out like 2-3 days before.
Poor dude, man. It would be so horrifying. But like everyone loves him, right? He gets the biggest claps. I realized I don't really follow them on like Instagram and stuff. So like followed them. He has like the most followers out of like both of them as well. Like everyone loves him.
He's been back in the day, Tom was like the favorite.
Yeah.
And then once
he was like the funny guy.
Once he left, it was kind of like he was shunned a bit. Mark's always been like just the funny one. He was like massive on Twitter back in the day. Yeah. He was always been the funny one. He has like a radio show on Apple where he interviews different bands and things. And then Travis has always been the entrepreneur. He had Famous Stars and Straps back in the day, clothing brand. He's got like wellness companies now. He's like super entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And then now he's part of like the Kardashian mix as well. He's immersed in that even deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
So he's heaps business savvy. Because you see the behind the scenes stuff they post on Instagram, and they never really, I suppose they toured for so many years back in the day, living in the same tour van or the tour bus and same green rooms. They all have their own separate little worlds now.
Yeah, true.
They don't really mingle before the show. Mark and Tom do, but they're never like hanging out with Travis behind the stage. They always sort of meet at the entrance of the stage.
Gotcha.
And then do the show. They don't really hang out anymore. Probably for various reasons.
Yeah.
But when you see Mark and Tom, they do like little live streams on Instagram some nights before the show, and they just show like what they're listening to get hyped up or whatever.
Yeah.
I've always been curious like what Travis does before the show, because he's heaps family oriented. He's probably doing his drum practice because he's relentless at his practice and everything.
Just you saying that, like, it just gives me chills. Like, yeah, keep going. But like
I'm trying to think what he does before the show as like a pre-show ritual, because he's obviously doing all these practices and everything. Not that he does need it.
He'd have to have some sort of warm up, or else he'd like hurt himself.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think he's probably just doing business meetings and phone calls and Zoom calls a lot of the time, running all the operations he has.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy show. Probably the best I've seen them for sure.
Yeah. It was. Well, I think tickets weren't even that expensive, but it was just, we locked out with the seats.
I think
it was so good.
When you break it down, I think the tickets were $120. They play about 20 songs. So if you break it down, 20 songs, $120, that's $6 a song. That means you're paying them each $2 each to play a song almost, which is kind of wild to think about, to like play their own part.
Yeah.
It's like really fucking cheap.
Yeah, and then you have merch and stuff on top of that as well. Like,
Well, that was expensive. We didn't get any of that.
no, we did get a poster. Well,
We got a limited edition poster, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really fun gig. I think they're touring again. They're back in Sydney next weekend. But what's crazy is like comparing that to the Taylor Swift concert
Oh
because
my
she's in
God.
Melbourne at the moment.
It was almost 100,000 people.
I think it was set the set record for her biggest show, 95,000 people.
Yeah, I saw a
Just
short. It was like her biggest show ever. Mental. This is in Melbourne, right?
Stupid.
Yeah.
But it's also because people had to fly from interstate as well. She's not playing Brisbane.
No.
So I don't know if she's not playing Brisbane for a particular reason or because there's a much larger venue available. So it makes more sense to do one gigantic one
Yeah.
and have people splurge all their money on
Yes.
travel and accommodation as opposed to just doing more of the smaller venues.
I mean, I thought Blink's one was like massive, and I saw like my photos, and then I compared the photos to the Taylor Swift
Nothing.
one. Insane.
Nothing.
And like traffic getting out was bad, right? Like we were stuck in traffic for like half an hour. Could you imagine getting out of that venue?
Well, next week they're playing both in the Sydney Olympic area,
Yeah.
same nights and everything. So
Be pretty crazy.
yeah, we got lucky going that first night.
Yeah.
But the tickets, you can still get tickets. Even like last night's show, there were still tickets available.
Oh, really?
So next week there'll be tickets available as well. They're not going to be any good ones. I think when I looked yesterday, there were some seats in the same area that we were for $200.
Right.
So we got in early with like a pre-sale.
Yeah. Well, you got like a special code or something to get in. It was like pre-sale, which is hectic.
I'd like to go again, but unless the set, I need to see a difference in the set list.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they're not going to change that many songs. If there's 20 songs they're playing, for example, they might change 2 or 3. I've seen their set list from last night. It was exactly the same. So I don't want to see the exact same show.
Yeah, well, plus because they've got all the like the special effects and like they've got like a big screen at the back as well, like showing animation that is suited to the song and everything. So there's a lot to go into the production, but it'd be interesting if they do switch up a song here and there.
Well, they had a break over Christmas and stuff, and then they started this tour in Perth. And Perth was, I think there was like 3 or 4 songs from the new album that they played live for the first time in Perth. So a lot of the songs they're only playing for the first 5 or 6 times.
I mean, if you've been together for that long, you kind of want to throw in some new stuff anyway. But the new album's pretty cool. I like the new album.
So I don't think I think it'll be hard to top that for I don't know for a what like to have that level of production.
Yeah.
If you just go see like a rap artist or something, it's just the one guy on stage to have that band dynamic. And what works for them is the history. They've talking about this with you yesterday. Is they've been through like the pre-internet era. They've been through the MP3 LimeWire era. They've been through CDs, record labels, streaming. They've been through it all.
Yeah.
And they all have such lengthy backstories in terms of what they've done in and out of the band. There's no other band like that around right now where they're like known so well and they have 2 decades of being on MTV shows and reality shows and doing different side projects and, you know, being involved in UFO research. And
Yeah,
like,
100%. Like
pretty-
every
it's-
single member is like really, really well known, and especially being like a punk band as well. There's not many, like you're saying, that have that kind of staying power compared to others. I mean, there would probably be a few handful out there, but yeah, not really come to mind at the moment.
Yeah, and like you're not going to see the used
Yeah.
like dropping pyro like that. Like perhaps
they might drop it, but like again, is every single individual team member team member
yeah. Well, you can't even name
band
them.
member
I
doing
suppose
something.
the less members there are, the easier it is to remember them.
Yeah.
All right, so enough of our weekend escapades. Last week we talked about the Apple Vision Pro as finally being released. All the tech reviewers are out doing their thing on YouTube, and there's so much content out there right now. And I thought it'd be cool to maybe watch a couple, see what we think about it, because obviously the episode we did 6 odd months ago was more about speculation and looking at the specs and everything, what it's capable of. But it's interesting to see now, once it's out, kind of how it's being used. Now, I watched a bunch of videos yesterday, and so many of them were just the classic Mr. Beast style. I wore it for 24 hours, and
Yeah, a lot of challenge videos.
Challenge videos of, you know, people going to the gym or going to the beach or like stuff that you probably realistically wouldn't use it for. And I found a couple that I liked were more with actual use cases in their home doing work, which I enjoy doing work.
Yes.
I'm not going to wear an Apple Vision Pro at the movies, at the beach, go to a restaurant. They're all the challenge things you can see, and I guess they're kind of entertaining. just for the sheer fact that people are looking at you weird. That's kind of what those videos are relying on, going out in public with a weird thing on your face and then trying to get people's reactions.
Yeah, they want the kind of reactions and they want like that shock or like wow kind of aspect to it. Like,
whilst it's still novel, because
Exactly.
in 12 months you can't do that without people kind of not caring.
Yeah, if you want like proper informative take on it, you can like Marquez, he's like all his content
a breakdown
lately.
of like
Exactly, yeah, because he does the unboxing. Like he's a big tech, I guess, reviewer and stuff in general. There's quite a few out there, but he's a massive one. So he does like the unboxing. He's got using it, but I think he's had like 10 videos in the last course of a month just about the Apple Vision Pro, which is, which would make sense because it's one of the biggest kind of newish sort of tech things out there.
Yep. So I don't want to really talk about the ones, as I said, where they're just doing a challenge video. There's probably 50 videos that are based around, I worked for 24 hours straight. This is what I did.
Yes.
None of them are actually doing any work. They're just...
This is like the real life applications kind
around.
of thing.
So do you want to pick maybe one or two, and I'll pick one or two that I liked, and I'll kind of talk about why I liked it. Other than... There's no point watching the unboxing because I want to see like what you can use it for as opposed to the features per se.
No, of course. I'm just trying to think. Probably, obviously, maybe I spent 24 hours. So it's from a Wall Street Journal. Whatchamacallit?
The Wall Street Journal. Wall Street journalist.
Journalist, yeah. But because I just went through, because I was just like toggling through to see like what got the most views and kind of why. But this was like the first like female one that kind of popped up. So obviously it's very like male sort of dominated, popular kind of aspect to it. But they had like an interesting take. They decided to rent a place up in the Snow Mountain because it looks like ski goggles. So they won't be laughed at as much.
Okay. So just taking the edge off the insecurities.
Base for 24 hours.
So we can just like skip through it.
Yeah, so what part? Working.
And to scroll, you just pinch and drag.
So she's more just showing
how you can
Like
place
how to
apps
use
all
it
around.
as well. Yeah, but like
Apple
kind of like
calls
the real life
this spatial
applications and
computing.
everything.
So I can start writing over here in a document in front of me. I've got email over here on the left, and I've got music over here on the right.
Yes,
I
that's
was
someone
all
that's
set up
actually
to do
using it
some
for like
real-
productivity purposes.
So one thing that was interesting to me, and I haven't used it, so I can't say with the experience, obviously, the keyboard and the typing is super weird.
Yeah, because you'd just be how it,
You're typing in midair.
Yeah.
Because you can see the keyboard, but no one else can see it. I can understand like the pinching and the moving with your hands, but when it comes down to using your fingers to type on a keyboard,
yeah.
and there's nothing around you, it looks weird and it doesn't look that practical.
No, because like you'd be using more motion in your wrist than you'd need to, right? Rather than just being like an actual proper ergonomic one.
There's no feedback because you're not feeling the item or like getting like a rumble from a phone or anything like that.
I wonder if you could, because it's based on the goggles, right? So for it to be able to project, you'd have to look down. You might be able to do that, but then the keyboard would keep like flipping up, like keep moving.
You can pin stuff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily move when you move. You can
Okay.
pin stuff down, which is something I'll show you.
Longer than a quick message. Thankfully,
But yeah, a lot of the videos that I've seen where they're using the keyboard, it's just like a singular
That's
kind
what
of
I'm
like.
saying. Yeah, it looks
it's
weird.
very-
Whereas having an actual keyboard
Yeah.
makes way more sense, which you can't really do if you're out and about on a train or something.
never been so happy to see a keyboard. The real game changer for
Literally what
getting
I'm
work
saying.
done?
Yeah.
Adding in a Mac.
We are connected.
Yes, you get a giant desktop for your Mac apps, and you can run Vision Pro apps right next to them.
And you too can have this for the low, low price of...
But really, I continued to work in the headset for the next few hours and got a lot done. Next, I had to Vision Pro's cameras.
So the personas they make are all whack.
Super, super whack.
All
Yeah.
whack.
Probably not as whack as like Facebook Meta's kind of.
I mean, it's really good for being in 2024, but they are whack.
It just looks like a weird kind of like retro painting.
Cooking, this is interesting. I haven't seen this before. The battery pack looks like a pain in the ass as well.
Yes, because it only lasts like 2.5, 3 hours. You have to like all these challenges. They just talk about having to change the battery pack all the time, or they just plug themselves into the wall essentially.
Hours. So most of the time,
I mean, we're nitpicking thing for some brand new tech. We're nitpicking,
Yeah.
but it is probably going to be the biggest pain points that most people are going to.
Oh, for sure. But this is
about.
like stage one, right? Like it's just about, obviously
I just
as
stayed
time goes on, the
plugged
battery
into
life's going to
wall,
get better.
But not for my next activity.
And here is our recipe, balsamic mushroom and sausage pasta.
Crouton is a recipe app for the Vision Pro. So I put the window on one side of the kitchen and got cooking.
It is not recommended to prepare food while wearing the Apple Vision Pro. Okay, sure.
Don't worry, my producers were standing by to make sure I was safe. Prepping food was really natural, especially...
I could cut onions all day in this. My eyes do not burn.
Okay, first of all, she's a horrible cook. She doesn't know how to cut.
No, I know. I saw that. Obviously, she doesn't cook very often.
She's a Wall Street journalist. She's probably gets takeout.
Yeah, probably.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but I've seen this. Like, you can
That's
put
cool.
timers.
That's
and
cool.
you can lock them above the things as well.
But it's saying don't use the headset while cooking, but it's clearly a great feature.
Yes.
So if you're
Now
just
I can-
listening, basically if you have a pot of spaghetti or something on the stove, you can add a timer to that one pan and you can
Yes.
multiply that across all your different stove tops or your oven.
Move it
So they'll have
over
individualized
the
timers.
pasta.
That's pretty cool.
And now I have a second timer for 6 minutes that I'm putting over the mushroom.
Because we only ever have one timer on our stove and then maybe
Yes.
one on our phone,
Just the
right?
coolest.
You're pretty
Was
limited.
it perfect?
Yep.
No. You're still looking at life on a screen. In low light, I couldn't read things with smaller print because of pixelation.
Is there even pepper coming out? I cannot see it.
And some stuff just didn't look
Okay, so cooking, kind of novelty.
Yeah.
What should
Movie
I
night.
I'll
Stuff
show
that
you.
is-
I'll show you.
that
I've got a better one.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
You have to
the
get
stuff.
prescription inserts to use the Vision
Okay, I
Pro.
didn't know this. This is interesting. What's
of
going on
Yosemite?
here for people that have glasses?
Yeah, so
If
you
you're
can't
like me
wear
and
glasses with
glasses
them. So
on, you have
either
to get
you can wear
prescription
contact
inserts
lenses
to use the Vision
or you
Pro.
buy the subscription lenses that magnetically
plug in
connect
like
in
that.
there. I think they're like $150, $200 to get
Crazy.
them.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't realize that was a
Okay,
thing,
I
but
didn't
it makes
sleep with
sense.
it. I'm not insane.
So just say,
Morning, everyone.
like, I wear glasses. I've got like astigmatism, so I can see, but everything's it's just slightly
Siri,
different for people that are familiar with it. So for me to get those, I could probably get used to it, but I'll get motion sickness, which is why I got like motion sickness at the Ramsey thing because I couldn't wear my glasses
Okay.
underneath. Yeah.
So I got two things that are kind of similar. This one, which one was it?
Yeah, obviously you just want a fun take or want that kind of entertainment piece. There's heaps of like those challenges videos. Yeah, you can sort of see Casey Neistat's always an OG when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Let me keep talking. I'm just going to find which video I watched. There's two. This guy's got like less than 1,000 subs. Oh, sorry, he's got 10K subs.
Yeah.
But he's done a bunch of just simple, practical ones.
Right. So he seems like someone who's just like very like productivity based. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was interesting to me is being able to pin things and they don't move.
Gotcha. So when you're moving
I
your
wanna
head
show
and
you guys
stuff
just a little
around,
bit
they
of what a
kind of
real
stay
workflow
stationary
might
until you
look
want to
like
come
for the
back to
Vision
it.
So
Pro.
watch this. This is
See
probably the
Mac
most
screen
interesting
right
one
here.
to me.
By the way, full hand occlusion, which looks really nice and smooth. Messages.
So it's just
Slack,
showing all the different screens he has set up around his desk.
Gotcha.
Right? But then you can get up and pin things to different areas of the house.
Ah.
There's Safari window right here. Keyboard works just fine. Like
Oh,
that.
so the keyboard connects to the
And
headset.
also, my mouse
Yeah.
will go over here, and I can go ahead and type right here.
That's cool.
And as I type, I can see a little preview. I'll show you a couple more things. Got the messages again. Got music set up
So
here.
you can just like set up different things for different areas in the house.
Ah.
So where his keyboard is, he has like Apple Music or something open. And then next to his music station, he has like his entertainment system
Big
with the
screen
big
TV
screen
set up
for
on
his
my
TV.
wall.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay showing me how to cook above the stove. Notes right here for some
Oh, that's
groceries.
smart.
Can
So
walk
it's the same
around
as having
freely.
all the apps on your phone,
Yeah.
like a notes, videos, just pinned to different areas of the house so you see them as you're
Yes.
walking
It's
around.
like widgets.
Because on the fridge we write the grocery list.
Yes.
But it's having that in here. But then
Yeah.
would you want to have the headset on just for those reminders as
Yeah,
well?
true.
Like it's really cool, but once it's in like a simple glasses frame eventually,
Yes.
that's where the benefit's going to be.
100%.
Because, you know, I might have podcast notes behind you that I can read, for example, with the glasses on and things like that. But the thing is being able to pin it, leave the area and come back
what
and
it
they're
looks like when
still
it's on.
where they were initially.
Yeah. Well, because saying like futuristic applications would be like in contact lenses
Hey,
and stuff.
how's it going?
Oh, hey, catch.
Thank you. And as we walk around the house, everything stays pinned.
So you can just pick up things where you left
where
them.
we left it.
Yes. Gotcha.
And
That was the
that's
most
it.
interesting one to
Let
me.
know
I'm
if
like,
you
I didn't.
So
it
it
makes
doesn't
sense.
follow you around all the time.
Yeah. Or there would be a section or not a section, a feature where it moves as you move your head.
Yeah.
And then the other one I watched from this channel. The channel's called Himmel's Tech. HIMELS. Just to quickly watch his second one. He's got a bunch, but I just enjoyed these two because they're just simple. They're no bullshit videos. Basically.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, because like, you know, if you actually want to find out about it, obviously we're saying
So I've
like the
gotten a
top
few more
popular ones are all
questions.
challenge ones, but these ones will be like,
Just
okay,
a smaller
what
YouTuber. There's
can you actually do with it?
yeah.
About theater mode and watching content and screen size. So I wanted to cover a few things in this video. First off, I figured out how to do theater mode to show on a screen share. I just have to watch a trailer. Here's theater mode. Looks great. We can choose to be in the front. Here we
So
go.
you choose like where in the cinema you would be seated.
That's interesting. And this could be
Right
like in the
back
bright
right
light
here.
of day, but they've just like darkened the
It darkens
glasses.
the rest down,
yeah.
So it gives you a few options. Now, when you're in theater mode, you can't move the screen at all. It's fixed. You cannot make it closer or further, but you still see your hands nice and dark against the theater. Looks great. I'll show you real fast.
You don't even need a TV anymore.
No.
Yosemite.
So you can choose
We can see again.
rather than
kind of
like you can choose
type of
different
environment here.
scenes and backgrounds.
Yeah.
And then we can go to Yosemite Light.
Ah.
Again, so when we're in theater mode, we cannot change where the screen is. If I go back here, and then I can actually adjust for a second my environment to Mount Hood.
This one's cool.
Then when I go back to theater mode, Mount Hood dark
The
with the
reflection
light
on the water.
reflection right here.
Oh, that's
Mount Hood.
cool.
Light. So theater, move it
You
back.
can move it closer and further away. But the thing
Yeah.
is
And I
here,
think
the
comfortably,
stationary
though,
nature
that
of
looks
it,
pretty good.
and then being able to
It just looks a
choose
little weird.
where in the cinema
but
you prefer to
It
sit.
just kind of
Yeah.
feels like a more natural.
That was really cool.
That's interesting. Yes, it just makes it a little bit more of like an immersive experience, which is like kind of like what they want for it. But
But
Yeah.
imagine being able to, because I know you go into some of these new houses that are built now, they have cinema rooms. And the idea is to have like no windows, have it fully blacked out.
yes.
I mean, would you rather spend a couple of $1,000s refurbishing a room, cutting out windows, filling in walls, painting it all black and making it the perfect room, or just putting on a headset?
Or spend a couple of $1,000s on a
That's
headset.
what I'm saying. So they're the two that I liked the most. Obviously, very simplistic ones.
Yeah.
There's so many more features you can think about, but I'm thinking of it more as a practical, productive use case of
Yes.
getting work done and a little bit of entertainment. And then maybe we touch on one more that you liked.
Just trying to think. That's just an article about the Vision Pro. That's the actual ad. So the Hello Vision.
Yep.
Like obviously, no, like Casey Neistat one's okay. You've got go to the top, like the challenge one from the 50 hours. That was
Brian Trahan,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. But his partner, which I forgot, didn't save here. She like read for.
I showed
That
you
was
that
it.
one last week.
Yeah, you showed me that one last week. Did we watch it on here? We did. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just reading.
Yeah.
It's one use case. It's reading ebooks.
Yes.
Mostly
Yeah.
because I was trying to download a Sonic the Hedgehog mobile game.
This is probably one of the better.
there's actually some software running on my
Challenge
Apple
one.
Vision
Yeah,
Pro
because he
where I
tries a whole
can't
bunch of
actually
different
drop
things.
it.
He goes to the gym. He plays frisbee.
We did a little
He just
team
talks
draft,
about how.
and nobody wanted me.
So I have to take it? Yeah, well, all right, let's do it. Let's play some frisbee. I might have to make a battery.
This.
If you're bad at timing, then set a timer.
Gordon said if you're bad at timing, set a timer. This is
Yeah,
where
all the
things-
challenge ones are just like, let me show you doing
Everyday.
everyday tasks that is ridiculous with this thing, as opposed to these are the best ways to use it to get
Yeah.
stuff done.
And one thing that was kind of
Starting to get
interesting,
pretty
like
cool.
through
I got
this
an
is
app called
because it's the Apple Vision, so obviously it has its own app. So obviously when you have a MacBook, you can get particular apps for that. With your phone, you got particular apps. So with this one here, he couldn't get everything. So he couldn't get like normal Uber or like Lyft or things like that. So had to use like a really different like rideshare app. So it's just you only can use certain things. You can't pay with it. So he realized he had to use cash because he doesn't have his watch or his phone. So it's still quite limited in the things that you can do.
Eventually,
I don't think it's really designed for outdoors, but people are trying to like use it outdoors in a way.
Is there anything in this video that you wanted to touch on?
More of just like
They're just
the
everyday activities.
Yes.
Like I get it. It's like interesting content to watch,
Yeah.
but it's not really helping the layperson understand how it's going to be
no.
beneficial
So
for
him
their
and his
life.
partner are both wearing headsets towards the end of it as well, like watching a movie night and stuff together.
Yeah, I've never heard that in my life.
Well, it's supposed to mean I love you, wife, so I would hope so.
So just kind of like just an aspect of it, but it's more about he sleeps with it and everything on. So third puzzle.
This was pretty cool. We'll wrap it up on this last one. It's just like different games and things will be fun to play. This one, you're saying like native games for the actual device.
Yes.
This would be fun because I don't really like puzzles, but I'm like, oh, this is kind of a puzzle that I would potentially be interested in as like a way to zone out. You know, you can do paint by numbers and like simple things like that.
Be like
It's like
challenging things.
It's like a 3D puzzle.
Oh, that's cool. Trying to figure out where it
I'm not gonna
belongs.
touch
Yeah.
it, but you get the point.
Anyway, I thought that was cool. It seems very relaxing.
Yeah.
Here, please. And I might not be very good. Oh.
Anyway, maybe
Yeah.
I'm just a loser.
No. But there's some things like a lot of these people sort of say that, you know, after wearing it for a couple of hours or like 2 hours, you kind of get used to it pretty quick. You kind of forget at some points that you are wearing a headset or you are looking through a screen because it feels not natural, but yeah, like we're very, like human beings are very
We get
adaptable.
acclimated to things so easily. It's like
Very,
when you
very
put
quickly.
on, like, do you feel your socks on right now?
No.
The first minute you put them on, you're like, oh, I can feel the socks against my feet. Then it becomes
Yeah.
it's acclimated to the experience, to the touch, to the feel.
Yeah.
It's same as everything. You
Yeah.
get used to it.
Well, it's even when like I wear my glasses, sometimes I forget that I'm wearing my glasses. And then when I'm not wearing my glasses, I go to fix my glasses, but I'm not like, you just touch your face. Like it's just,
moving your wrist up for your watch and things
yeah,
like
you
that.
don't. Yeah.
But I think the wearing it for too long, coming back into reality
Yes.
could be long term. Who knows what kind of impact that's going to have? But taking them off and then expecting certain things to exist in your environment because of the mixed reality that isn't there because you don't have the headset on.
Yeah.
It could
It would mess with
It
you.
would mess with you a little bit, but it's more just like it'd be confusing because it feel like everything without the headset is more work, even though it's not more work. It's just how you should normally exist.
Exactly. Well, it's just like, so I haven't done this in ages, but I remember like I'd use the iPad for a little bit and then I'd go use the MacBook and I try to touch the screen on the MacBook because you're just expecting it to everything to be touchscreen. So like if you're wearing the headset all the time and you're using your gestures to like get a timer or to like just do something in general and you're moving your hand, you're like, why isn't anything happening? I'm like, fuck, I'm not wearing the headset. Yeah. So like, I think we would get used to it very quickly. Obviously, this is like generation 1, so be kind of curious, 5 years down the track, like how heavy the headset's going to be, how long the battery life is going to be, how many people are going to be wearing it. But yeah, this is stage 1, but it's pretty interesting of the stuff that you can do with it.
All right, so I'm not in any rush to get this particular iteration. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the line and the second or third one comes out, I'll be interested. But it's interesting that they've called it the Apple Vision Pro and it's the first one.
Yeah.
Like they're putting the Pro on there. I think it's the first time. I think Marcus Brownlee said this. It's the first product of its first generation that has Pro in the title.
True.
So how can they go up from
Yeah.
the Pro
Or is there
model?
going to be like a light version or a basic one that comes out?
That's a good point.
Like this is the more expensive one and they get people to kind of interested in get that. Then they're like, oh, here's the cheaper version.
Okay, for
Yeah.
$6,500, knowing what it can do. I mean, if speaking of light version, it's going to be the battery pack and everything's. If that's the Pro version, how bulky is it?
Yeah, the light one.
How much would it cost you to be interested in getting one? $2,000, $3,000?
I'd say because like the price of a phone now, like the high end phones are like 2.5, so probably
Around that.
2.5. Yeah.
Okay, I think probably the same.
Yeah.
It's $6,000. So I'll hold off for now, unless we somehow have some gigantic sponsor of the podcast. The emails are open if you want to support the
If
podcast.
you want to donate us an Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, maybe we don't even need just any ongoing sponsorships or promo codes or anything. We'll just take one headset.
Yeah,
That's all we
that'd
really
be good.
want.
Thanks, guys. Well, actually, real quick as well, that's a side note. Apple don't even need to do any advertising whatsoever. They've got all these people that are doing it for them.
And it's not
Yeah.
us, unfortunately.
Yes.
Just yet. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.